What is going on, everybody? It is the one and only Q from Retro Q Gaming. Feeling good, feeling great, feeling relaxed. Time off work is an amazing thing. It really heals what ails you. But unfortunately, Blizzard is here to piss all over my lucky charms. And why is that? Well, because bullshit anti-consumer practices, something I am not a fan of, no matter who does them, be it Microsoft, Nintendo, Sony, or even just a software publisher. In this case, we're looking at the new updated terms of service for Warcraft 3 Reforged, which is basically the remastered version of Warcraft 3, or remade, or whatever it is. The one that looks like a mobile game that just released. Yeah, that one. So if you're familiar with the original Warcraft 3 in any way, shape or form, you know that the modding community was absolutely huge for that. So many custom games, so many custom maps, so many custom everything, to the point where it eventually got a mod got so big and was bought by Valve and created into its own game, one of the most popular games in the world, and you probably may or may not have heard of it. It's called Dota 2. Yes, that's right, Dota 2, one of the few games from Valve, originally started as a Warcraft 3 mod. And of course, I'm sure Blizzard are a little bit salty about that whole situation. They probably see every bit of money and every bit of fame and every sale, etc., from Dota 2 as something that was ripped and stolen from them. So, in order to combat this potentially happening again with Dota 3, well, no, I mean, let's face it, Valve don't do 3, so it would be Dota 2 Episode 1. But to prevent it anyway, Blizzard have wrote in some little questionable, I say questionable, putting it very, very nicely, but let's be real, it's some complete anti-consumer bullshit fuckery, which we'll get to right now. So, they have put in, them being Blizzard, into the terms of service and all, every type of custom game, custom map, custom setting, custom everything that you create and use for Warcraft 3 Reforged Edition is property automatically of Blizzard. Now, personally, I don't know how well this is going to hold up in a court if it ever was to come down to that. But before we get back into the nitty gritty of the whole situation, there is one other extra one in there as well that kind of has maybe a couple of jimmies rustled. If you're creating custom anything when it comes to Warcraft 3 Reforged, you cannot use copyrighted third-party IPs, if you will, or franchises. So basically all those original Hello Kitty mods, all those original Thomas the Tank Engine ones, DBZ ones, they are all gonzo. Now, this kind of makes sense because Blizzard doesn't really want to get sued, but at the same time, you could argue that, well, you know, they didn't include it in their original proper stuff, but hell, because they're claiming everything you make automatically as their product and as their IP and creation, it doesn't want to get them in trouble that way, so I can kind of understand it there. But that comes back to the whole original problem and the whole original situation when it comes to this. That Blizzard are automatically, or at least trying to automatically claim that anything you create, custom game, custom map, custom anything, is automatically their property, their intellectual property, and their IP. Then again, IP is just intellectual property, so I don't know where I'm going with that one. But this is insane in the whole draconian control of things. Obviously, they don't want the next Dota, this is the one that's going around everywhere, the comparison that everyone's making. But it's very, very apparent, basically, because of what happened with Warcraft 3 and Dota 2. But to think that a company would try to enforce and try to say that in order to use their software, anything you create separately, not using their assets, their skins, their textures, their sounds, not using any of that stuff, to say that they automatically own it. This is brass balls to the biggest degree. This is even bigger brass balls than your boy Q has. And might I remind you, I'm the second person in the world to have the original Brass Balls achievement when it was patched into BioShock back on the Xbox 360. The only person to beat me was some German guy who beat me by like 20 minutes. But other than that, number 2 in the world, baby. And having said that, this is extreme brass cojones. And you may be wondering, how is this anti-consumer as fuck? Well, basically, no matter what you're doing, you could create something, you could have an idea made that you need to put into practice, or you could have an idea during creation of something else. And because of these terms of service, you cannot upload or copy or use that in any way, shape, or form in a different platform, be it a different game or whatever, a different online service, or anything like that. A great example of this actually is something that my friend who used to work for Blizzard here in Ireland, he told me about when he was signing his work contract. It basically stated that even if he was creating something at home on his own time that had no inspiration, no relevance, no anything, no correlation whatsoever to what he was doing in work, as long as he was employed by them, anything he created on his own time was property of Blizzard. It's basically them saying, in both cases, that anything you do, you think of, you make, you create or whatever, is a derivative product from what you're using, learning, doing in your day-to-day, all thanks to them, which in theory can possibly be true, but let's face it, it's probably realistically not. And to me, I have a feeling that this is going to completely stifle creativity in the modding scene. Sure, people will still make custom maps, custom games, custom whatever. But on the scale that it used to be, when it's all controlled draconian style like this, absolutely nowhere near as big, even if gaming has got bigger than ever. Part of the allure of Warcraft 3 for all of these years was the modding community, and now basically you're being told that you can't do that. Most people are probably just going to say, fuck it, we're not going to bother. And I don't blame them whatsoever. I think this is bullshit, no matter what company does it. Any type of control that these companies try to enforce on people needs to GTFO. Anecdotal, of course, but I've seen many people that I'm familiar with online, that I talk with regularly, that have basically just said, once they saw this, fuck it, I'm not even going to play the game at all, let alone try and create and mod something for it. But hey, I have no interest in it whatsoever, but I still like to call out this bullshit. Let me know in the comments section below, does this affect you in any way, shape or form? Are you affected by it? Do you think it's bullshit? Are you still going to play it? Are you still going to try create mods for it? Are you just going to play it and not create mods? Or are you just going to say, fuck you Blizzard, I'm not going with your control bullshit? Let me know all of that in the comments section below. Hit the appropriate button to let me know how I did on the video, and while you're at it, why not head on over and hit the subscribe button and even ring that little notification bell. Granted, getting a notification from YouTube in current year about a new video upload or a live stream or whatever is a whole other story, but hey, at least you can say you tried, am I right? As always, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the rest of the videos in my channel.